Thank you very much, Dev sir. I wish everybody a warm good afternoon. It's my pleasure to be here, and being an alumni of this college, I have this opportunity to interact with you and to deliver what I have learned in my practical field in the industry where I have been and I am working. So आज का topic है that how do you draft your contract? Okay. So have you heard about contract? आपने real life में contracts देखे हैं? Most of the people you might have known about contracts. ठीक है? Okay. Let me ask you, how many of you are from the first year of your college? First semester में, second semester में? Quite a lot of people. ठीक है. So I'll try to keep this lecture little basic so that you people can understand the nitty-gritties of the contract drafting. Let me tell you the practical aspect कि ये जो session होने वाला is going to be interactive and practical. So if I tell you contract drafting एक ऐसी field है जो आज बहुत ग्लोबल लेवल पर vogue में है. I mean people are mad at contract drafting. Everyone want to learn contract drafting. You might have come across a lot of such courses because there are a lot of courses happening out there which talks about contract drafting. So a lawyer must and should possess this skill of contract drafting. Why I am saying this? Because you are students and majority are from the first year, so it's a great opportunity for you to learn the art of contract drafting. Let me tell you the practical thing that I've seen the students from the fourth year and the fifth year, they are earning from drafting contracts. They are taking the work from the clients and they are earning from 5,000 to 10,000. And let me tell you, the experienced lawyers charge 5,000 to 15,000 to 20,000, and these are for the normal contracts. But if you talk about some global contracts and more big contracts where a lot of big deals are happening between the companies, so where there are a lot of money involved, so the lawyers charge lakhs. So why I am telling you this? Because to let you know the importance of contract drafting. Understanding this thing? So another aspect is the people are learning this freelancing. What is freelancing? So the students basically who are studying in the colleges, they are learning the skills, contract drafting skills, and then they are implementing the skills. They're taking work from the client. Now I will not dwell much into the theoretical aspect of what is a contract and what are the essential elements of the contract, because I assume that you're from the first year, you're learning that, and you might be aware of the basic theory part of the contract. Okay, but in this session, I'll give you very brief about what is a contract, what are some essential elements that you should and must be aware while drafting a contract, and next I'll discuss on what are the types of contracts that do exist in the legal world out there and happening. Okay. Next, I'll talk about essential clauses in a contract. Once you understand what is a contract and how do you draft a contract, you should understand what are the essential clauses in a contract. That means what things should be considered while making a contract. Okay, so later on I'll also explain you how what is the process of drafting a contract. How do you start drafting right from initial phase? How do you think while drafting a contract, and how do you complete the process? Okay, so this was the chronology so that you are aware how it is done. Now, what is a contract? So basically, when there are two or more parties and they have intention to set up legal relations, they have they promise something. One promises something to do something and the other promises to do another thing. Okay, and when they want to materialize this intention into a form of a formal document, they form an agreement. When this agreement has been given the force of law, that becomes a contract. Okay, so what are the essential elements of the contract? Now आपको पता होगा Section 10 of the Indian Contract Act. Section 10 of the Indian Contract Act बताता है what agreements will be valid, so that they'll take a form of the contract. So, firstly, for making a contract, you should, as a lawyer, you must think कि the party should be entering by free consent. Okay. An agreement will be valid contract if there is a free consent. Free consent मतलब कि the contract is not induced by coercion, like by force, by undue influence, by misrepresentation, or by fraud, or by mistake, any of these which are mentioned in section 19, which are mentioned in from the section 15 till 19. Okay. Then another important thing after free consent is that party should be competent to contract. Right? Some of you might be nodding because you are aware of these things. You might have learned in the lecture. So, the party should be competent to contract. That means section 11 talks that they should be major according to the law of the land. So, major yani 18 years or above. Okay. Secondly, the party should be sound minded. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि the person while entering don't understand the legal consequences of what he is doing. Law expects everyone to be vigilant. So when when the parties are entering into agreement, they should have the legal capacity. That means they should be sound mind. Another thing, they should not be disqualified from contracting by any law. मान लीजिए ऐसा कोर्ट ने ऑर्डर किया कि so and so person being a bankrupt won't be allowed to enter into future transactions into any future contracts. फिर वो करता है enter करता है agreement में, then that will be void. That cannot be done. Now, another aspect which is essential to the contract is there has to be a lawful consideration. That means if I am entering into a contract with another party, I am ready to fulfill a promise to do certain thing for the other party, then the other party has to do certain thing for me. There has to be reciprocal promises. Otherwise, there is no contract. Fine. So, another thing is lawful consideration. Next thing is lawful object. The object of entering the contract should be valid, legal and recognized by law. कोई भी illegal काम करने के लिए आप contract में enter नहीं हो सकते. Understood? आप gambling के लिए contract नहीं कर सकते. आप ऐसी चीजों के लिए sale के लिए contract नहीं कर सकते हो जो prohibited by law. Okay? So you must be vigilant कि lawful object भी होना चाहिए. Another thing that those agreements should not be those which are under the category of void contracts, जैसे कि इंडियन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट में बताया गया है, इस सेक्शन 24 से लेके सेक्शन 30 तक एंड देन 56, ये जितने भी कैटेगरी बता रखी उसमें आपका कॉन्ट्रैक्ट नहीं आना चाहिए, उसमें एग्रीमेंट नहीं आना चाहिए, अदरवाइज इट वोंट बी अ वैलिड कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. Got it? So these are the essentials. I'm not dwelling much into this aspect. Why? Because this is theoretical. You can easily learn it by reading in the books. I am here to tell you how industry works. What are the regular transactions that happen in the industry? I work in a corporate firm, and there we have a lot of contracts on a day-to-day basis. How we manage clients, how we talk to them, and how we draft contracts for them. I'm going to tell you that process. So this session is very important for you. You can jot all these points in a notepad or in a book or copy, whatever, so that it's for your future reference. Now let us talk about the different types of contracts that do come with us. So right from the employment agreement, there are employment agreements between the employer and the employee, wherein the companies hire the employee for certain period of time. Okay, it can be a certain period of time. You have to mention that into your contract for how long it's going to be. What are the terms and conditions of that contract? How the employee is supposed to behave. What kind of rules and responsibilities that employee will have. What is the compensation that he is going to get. And there can be various other things like notices. In case the employee wants to terminate the contract,